Alrighty, Judge, looks like everyone's back in the main room. Whenever you are ready, you can begin.
Okay, good morning. My name is Jacqueline Valdes. I preside over the 386 Juvenile District Court here in Bexar County. And I just would like to start off this Monday morning by thanking all of you for being present on this Zoom meeting and reporting to your jury summons. And I want to let you know that without you guys reporting and being available for jury service, our justice system would not work. We have a backlog of cases after COVID. And so being able to have jurors that are ready, able, and willing to sit and listen to the facts of the cases and decide what the truth is in the case really helps us get cases moving along. And sometimes jurors even get called downtown and wait in the hallway, and they don't end up hearing a case and feel like, man, I wasn't able to do my part. But actually just standing in the hallway sometimes is doing your part, because once the jurors report to court, the parties really start talking and they're able to resolve cases that have been pending sometimes for years. And so I just want to thank you guys this morning for being here. I'm going to start off this morning by swearing you in. The oath that you take applies today as we go over the disqualifications and exemptions and any other concerns that you may have regarding your service. And it also applies when you report to court either tomorrow or Wednesday, and you're asked about whether you can be a fair and impartial juror in a particular case. And so at this time, I'm going to ask everybody to please raise your right hand as I administer the oath. Do you and each of you solemnly swear or affirm that you will make true answers to such questions as may be propounded to you by the court or under its directions, touching your service and qualifications as a juror, so help you God?
I do.
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 Okay, thank you so much. I love nothing more than hearing about 440 I do's. Okay, so just to talk a little bit about why you're sworn in is in a moment, I am going to go over the qualifications for being a juror in Bexar County, and also any possible exemptions that you can claim if they apply to you and you wish to claim them. And so while I go over those, think about whether they apply to you, but know that you are also under oath when you are letting us know whether you do qualify to sit as a juror, and also if you are requesting for a particular exemption. And then, like I talked about a minute ago, when you go to the actual courtroom, that's where you will learn about the kind of case that you're going to hear. Although I preside over a juvenile court, it does not mean you're going to be assigned to a juvenile court. So even if you feel this morning that, oh, well, she's a juvenile court judge and I don't feel like I can be fair and impartial in a juvenile case, that doesn't mean you're going to hear a juvenile case. You may be hearing a traffic ticket case. It could be a family law case or a car accident or some other kind of civil contract or just complex litigation case on the civil side. It could be a case in the adult criminal court, both misdemeanor or felony. It may be a probate case. guardianship. It just could be so many different cases. So this morning, we won't address whether you feel that you can be a fair and impartial juror in a particular kind of case. That will be reserved for tomorrow. And so the oath you took today will still apply tomorrow. I want to let you know that today's meeting is on Zoom. And if you are qualified to sit as a juror in Bexar County and you don't exercise an exemption, and also if you don't have a conflict with coming in tomorrow or Wednesday, you will be asked to appear in person either tomorrow or Wednesday. And you'll be told which court to report to and given the location and the contact information for that court. And so after the presentation today, you will have an opportunity to let us know if you have a scheduling conflict or any kind of restraint regarding coming in person tomorrow or Wednesday. And if you cannot come tomorrow or Wednesday, we need to know that because we can address that issue this morning. But if you don't let us know when you get assigned to a court on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then you try to call the central jury room, they will not be in a position to excuse you. At the time that you are assigned to appear in a particular court, the only person that can excuse you at that time is the judge once you appear in person. So it's really important this morning that we know if you cannot appear on in person on Tuesday or Wednesday. We won't be talking about any kind of financial hardships today. That will be taken up with the judge in the court that you are assigned to. But I do need to know if you can't appear tomorrow or Wednesday. And I just so you're thinking about it, if you have a doctor's appointment that you can't reschedule and you need to be there, we need to know. If you have a trip planned for Tuesday or Wednesday, we need to know. If it's later in the week on Friday, that will be taken up by the court that you're assigned to, but we just need to know if you have a scheduling conflict for Tuesday or Wednesday. At this time, I'm going to start by going over the qualifications for being a juror in Bexar County. And so I'm going to go through the list of qualifications there. They should also be up on your screen. And you have to be at least 18 years of age to be a juror in Bexar County. If you are not 18 years of age or older, please let us know because then you are not qualified to sit as a juror. You also have to be a citizen of the United States and a resident of Texas and Bexar County. You also need to be qualified under the Constitution and the laws to vote in Bexar County. You do not have to be actually registered to vote, but you do have to be qualified under the Constitution and the laws to vote in Bexar County. You also need to be of sound mind and good moral character. This would be something that a doctor has told you that you are not of sound mind or good moral character to sit in judgment. So if that's the case, let us know that. And you also have to be able to read and write. This is important because a lot of the evidence that gets admitted at trial often has things that need to be read, and medical records or letters or reports and things like that. So we need to make sure that you are able to read and write. You also cannot have served as a petit juror for 6 days during the preceding 3 months in a county court or during the preceding 6 months in a district court. So if you have, please let us know. You also cannot have been convicted of a misdemeanor theft or a felony, and you cannot be under indictment or legal accusation for a misdemeanor theft or felony. And I want to talk momentarily about that. The only misdemeanor that applies here would be a theft case. If you have either been convicted or under indictment or other legal accusation for a different misdemeanor, if it's for a possession of marijuana case or an assault bodily injury case or something of that nature, that does not apply here. What applies here is a misdemeanor theft and then any felony. So all felonies apply, and the only misdemeanor that applies would be a theft case. So we need to know if any of these things apply to you. Let us know so we can address whether you are qualified to sit as a juror in Bexar County. Next, I'm going to go over the exemptions. And the reason that the exemptions are different from the qualifications is that if an exemption applies to you, you are still qualified and you are welcome to sit as a juror, and we would love it if you would. But if you don't want to, let us know and you can exercise the exemption. No questions asked, and you will be excused today. So if you are over the age, if you are over 70 years of age, then you can exercise an exemption. If you have legal custody of a child younger than 12 years of age, and that if you were to serve on the jury, it would leave that child without adequate supervision, let us know and you can exercise the exemption. I just want to note that you have to have legal custody of this child. This does not include a child that you babysit for that is not your child. This is a child that you have legal custody over that is 12 years of age or younger, and that if you were to serve on the jury, they would not be adequately supervised. So if you have a child that's already enrolled in full day daycare, then this doesn't apply. This is for a child that needs to be supervised because they don't have another way of being supervised. Also, if you are a student of a public or private secondary school, you can exercise an exemption, or if you are enrolled in an actual attendance at an institute of higher education, then you can exercise an exemption. If you are an officer or an employee of the Senate, the House of Representatives, or any department, commission, board, or other agency in the legislative branch of state government, then you can exercise the exemption. And if you are the primary caretaker of a person who's an invalid and unable to care for himself. So this is the same. You have to be the primary caretaker of this person, and this person cannot be able to take care of themselves. Also, if you are summoned for service in a county, in Bexar County, and you've served as a Petit juror in Bexar County during the 3-year preceding the date in which you were told to appear for this jury service, then you can exercise an exemption. And if you are a member of the United States Military Forces serving on active duty and deployed to a location away from your home station and out of your county of residence, then you can exercise an exemption. So like I said before, if any of these apply to you, let us know and you can exercise the exemption. But if you don't want to, you don't have to, and we would like it if you would serve your jury duty. We also have some COVID protocols that we are using downtown in an effort to keep everybody safe. I'm going to go over our different COVID protocols, and if you feel like you have an issue regarding COVID that needs to be discussed, you will have an opportunity to discuss that after the presentation. And I want to go over a few things. So like I said, today, if you are qualified to sit as a juror in Bexar County and you don't exercise an exemption, then you will be assigned to a particular courtroom and you'll be given the information of where and when to report. If for some time between now and then you become sick, we want you to notify that particular court and not to come downtown. So if you develop a fever, cough, nausea, sore throat, muscle aches, if you feel malaise or have diarrhea, shortness of breath, vomiting, or a recent loss of taste or smell, don't come to the court. Call the court and let them know how you're feeling and see what they instruct you to do. Also, if you are feeling sick or just not feeling well, if you are under quarantine for COVID-19, if you've tested positive for COVID-19, or if you've had contact with someone who's tested positive for COVID-19, please don't come down to the courtroom. Call the particular court that you've been assigned to and let them know what issues you are having and see what they instruct you to do next. Also, we are operating under the special order number 72711, which was issued on December 17th of 2021. And this controls the use of masks and social distancing within the courthouse for anybody that's conducting business in the courthouse, and that includes your jury service. And so this order uses the City of San Antonio's COVID-19 dashboard to determine when the masks and social distancing are required. And so right now we are at a medium risk level and we are holding steady. And so there's a QR code that we're going to put up on the screen that you can use if you want to continue to monitor the risk level. So at this point in time, face coverings are not required, but they are strongly encouraged for all unvaccinated individuals entering the Bexar County Courthouse and central jury room for business, as well as social distancing of 3 feet is required in in-person proceedings. And I want to make sure you understand that the particular judges can have more stringent requirements in their courtrooms. There could be a situation where a judge does require face mask or increased social distancing. And so if you are assigned to that courtroom, then you have to abide by that particular judge's requirements. And so, like I've said a couple of times, you'll be placed on a panel today, and you will be told when and where to report. And so that information will also be emailed to you so that you have the information of when you need to report and where you need to report. And the central jury room and the courts will be disinfected prior to your arrival. And there are several hand sanitizing stations around the courthouse. There's one in front of the central jury room, and they're located throughout the courthouse. And so, like I've told you, after this presentation, you will have an opportunity to talk to me or one of the central jury room assistants regarding any disqualifications, legal exemptions, or if you have a COVID-19 concern, or if you have a time constraint regarding appearing in person either tomorrow or Wednesday. And I also just want to let you know that if for some reason you are unable to appear tomorrow or Wednesday, and you're in a situation where your service will need to be postponed to a later date, starting next Monday, we will be back in person. We will not be having this preliminary Zoom qualification process. So if you're reset for a date in the future, this presentation, you will see it in person down in the central jury room. And then we have a video. We're giving you prior to the video, I need to let you know we'd run into this issue downtown at the courthouse where people were reporting early to jury duty, which is fine, but we're asking that if you do come more than 15 minutes early, that you please do not go to the court where you were told to go. Either wait down in the basement. There's a cafe down in the basement, and there's also some outside seating there. And so if you can wait in that area prior to coming up, if you report 15 minutes before your designated time, and then about 15 minutes before your time, when you do come up to the courtroom, please do not enter the courtroom. Just wait in the hallway and wait until the courtroom staff comes and gives you instructions about what you need to do next. We want to make sure that no jurors go in the courtroom because there's often pretrial matters going on. You know, the parties are in and out. There might be witnesses, and we just want to make sure that the jurors don't hear any of those things that are going on pretrial. And so if you get there more than 15 minutes ahead of your scheduled time, please wait in the basement and then come up about 15 minutes before, and then just please remain in the hallway until you're told what to do next. And then this is the video I was telling you about. This is a brief video about what's going on down at the courthouse.
Hello, I'm Rosie Alvarado, local administrative judge of Bexar County, Texas. Your local judges want participants of in-person court proceedings to take part in these proceedings in the safest manner possible. This short video provides an overview of the health and safety protocols implemented in the Bexar County complex. We, the courts, rely on the safety recommendations of the CDC and the San Antonio Metro Health Advisors. We have confidence that these protocols meet the current and best practices to keep all court staff, practitioners, and the public safe during their visit at the courthouse. We look forward to seeing you in court.
Visitors to the Bexar County Court Complex can feel confident the courts are exercising best practices regarding health and safety. Hospital-grade UVC light air sanitizers have been installed in the air handlers in all Bexar County-owned buildings. There are also 74 freestanding hospital-grade commercial HEPA air filters available to use. Foot-operated sanitizer dispensers are available at each building entrance, courtroom entrance, and at elevators. Courtrooms have been outfitted with plexiglass shields and distanced layouts. courthouse staff are protected by plexiglass shields. Judges may require face coverings and maximum social distancing in their own courtrooms. When entering the building, please maintain social distance protocols. The court complex is comprised of 3 buildings: the historic Bexar County Courthouse, the Kadena Reeves Justice Center, and the Paul Elizondo Tower. The historic courthouse houses the probate courts, the civil district courts, and the civil county courts at law. The Dolorosa entrance and Nueva entrance have stairs. The accessible entrance is through the Heritage Center. The Kadena Reeves Justice Center houses the 4th Court of Appeals, the criminal district courts, and the criminal county courts at law. This building has an accessible entrance on Dolorosa. The Paul Elizondo Tower houses the office of the district attorney and a select number of courts. This building has 1 accessible entrance on Nueva. Our courts will continue to operate with the most current information and in consideration of the health and safety of our community. We look forward to seeing you.